So we're going to solve the following linear equations. The first one is 5/8 z plus 7 equals 24. We're going to get rid of the stuff that's on the same side of the letter, but not touching it. That's the plus 7. There's the opposite or inverse of adding 7 is to subtract 7 on both sides. That's going to give us 5/8z equals 17. At this point, we could divide both sides by 5/8, and that's right, but you'd have to be a little careful putting it in the calculator. So we usually say we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 8/5. And do note that 17 is the same thing as 17/1. So when we multiply both sides by 8/5, we can multiply straight across, if it's been a while, 17 times 8 over 1 times 5. 17 times 8 is 136. 1 times 5 is 5. And we could leave our answer like that, but if we want it as a decimal, 136 divided by 5 is 27.2. We should check our answer, but I won't because of time. The next one, we have different options of how we could approach this problem. I like to move all my letters to the left side first. That's how I like to approach it. But there's different options we could do. We could add 16z. We could add 19 to both sides. We could add 12z to both sides. Or we could subtract 9 on both sides. Any of those would be totally fine and possible. I'm going to move all my letters to the left side. So I'm going to add 12z to both sides first. And when we do that, negative 16z and a positive 12z is negative 4z. The negative 12z and the positive 12z there make 0, so we don't have to worry about writing that down, and we're left with 9 on the right side. Retyped it to make it a little bit nicer. Now we get rid of the stuff that's on the same side of the letter, but not touching it. That's the negative 19. The opposite or inverse is to add 19 to both sides. That's going to give us negative 4z equals 28. Then we would divide both sides by negative 4. This time I'm going to use the obelisk symbol. We typically don't write that. But 28 divided by negative 4 is negative 7 for our answer. And this last question, 14y plus 17 equals 10y plus 7. I'm going to move all the stuff. I'm going to move my y's to the left side first to get all my letters on the left side. So the opposite of a positive 10y is a negative 10y. So I subtract 10y on both sides. That's going to give us 4y plus 17 equals 7. I'm going to now subtract 17 on both sides. That's going to give us 4y equals negative 10. And then finally, lastly, we're going to divide both sides by 4. This time I'm going to use the fraction symbol. That's what we typically will see in mathematics. And that's going to leave us as negative 5 halves or negative 2.5. And again, we should check our answer by putting it into the original equation to make sure it checks out. But I'm not going to do that. If you have any kind of questions, ask your math teacher.